about impressing your friends. Don't care about fitting in the crowd. I'll say it one time and I'll say it loud. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take dope or have affairs. Just call me square, 'cause I don't care. I won't do the things I don't believe in. I don't care about impressing your friends. Don't care about fitting in. Complain, complain, complain. You're always the same. You will never change. All you do is complain. You complain about the things I cook. You complain about the way I look. You complain about the clothes I wear. And you don't like my hair. You complain because I don't work. You say I'm a no-good jerk. And then I go to work and you go berserk. Complain, complain, complain. You're always the same. You will never change. All you do is complain.
Come ride a little train going down the track at the junction. Woo, woo! Very cool junction.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
If you're traveling in Wallace, we're just getting word that due to a water main break, one lane of Quintet Road is closed just east of Alderbrook Boulevard. Also, we have an accident in Pensacola, Michigan Avenue at Denver Avenue. Slow on Highway 31 from Spanish Fort to Highway 59, 17-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by Taking a Walk Podcast.
I'm Buzz Knight, the host of the Taking a Walk podcast, and join me for an upcoming episode with country music legend Clint Black. That's Clint Black on Taking a Walk on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Now, here's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, media. That's media. Enter it now at newsradio710.com.
Weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
My fellow citizens, the final hours of the campaign are upon us. I urge all of you, please take time to vote. You are the guardians of this great democracy. We should pray that as much as we honor those who died to make us free, we also fervently pray such sacrifice will never again be required. That there will be a day when new battlefields are never again created. This and every election is what they sacrificed for. They gave everything to preserve and protect the vote you are free to exercise. Regardless of how you choose, you must take the time to make that choice.
And now, live from Mobile, Alabama, as the stomach churns, starring Uncle Henry, coming to you through Electro Voice microphone. Joining Henry will be callers, emailers, radio and internet listeners. So without further ado, in the style of that great country music legend Minnie Pearl, here's Henry!
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Uncle Henry Show underway here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate your listening to the Uncle Henry Show. I really do. And for whatever reason, if you can't actively listen, if you could just, you feel free to just turn it on in a room and walk out of the room. As long as it's on. That's all I'm asking. But thank you, even if you're turning it on in a room and walking out. Thank you for turning on the Uncle Henry Show. Once again, here we are together, just the two of us, me and you, trying to figure out what is going on. What is going on in the world around us? A bunch of crazy stuff. It's more than ever before. If you'd like to call in with something, telephone line is available to you at 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Tomorrow is the primary voting day in the state of Alabama. Are you ready to vote? Are you ready to vote in the primary? You excited about it? Are you excited at the very least? Now, throughout human history, people would be excited that their voice would allegedly be heard, or people would pretend to care what they think in these instances. But now, I don't know if we've gotten to the point where people are just going to be glad that the campaign commercials are off of their television, or that the mailers coming to their mailbox will stop. Whatever your reason, we do have the vote tomorrow. I was looking at the sample ballot. By the way, if you would like to look ahead of time at a sample ballot, they are on the internet. If you have some type of device that will connect to the internet, can be plugged into it. The Alabama Secretary of State's website, sos.alabama.gov, you can look at a sample ballot for your county. And I've been looking, and I'm looking at all these people running for office. All these people. A lot of questions. I've got a lot of questions about all these people, wondering if they're telling the truth or not. Wondering who's paying for them to run. What do their donors want? And many other questions. For example, let's see, Lieutenant Governor of Alabama. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I understand math correctly, I'm looking at a sample ballot in the Republican primary for Lieutenant Governor. 7 people want that job. There must be some really good benefits to that I didn't know about. Now, I understand why there's a bunch of people running for Senate, for the United States Senate, because it's the cushiest job in all of politics. You don't even have to do nothing once you're a senator, other than show up every now and again. So I understand why people run for that, but Lieutenant Governor, I wonder if there's any secret perks I don't know about up there. I know the governor gets a plane to fly around. Does the lieutenant governor get anything? Is there like a golf cart or something that they get to use in Montgomery? I'm serious, because that's a lot of people that want that job. But anyway, the vote is tomorrow. Are you undecided? Have you made up your mind who you're going to vote for? I've got a voicemail on this topic. Let me go to the magnificent listeners of the Uncle Henry Show. And this man phoned in a voicemail to the Uncle Henry Show.
Yeah, Henry. I thought after about 76 years, I would be able to tell a lie when I heard one. But I'm having a little trouble this year. I kind of feel like the lady that called your show here a few years ago and said she just don't know who to vote for. Okay, I need a little clarification, and I can't figure out how to get it. That's it. Bye-bye.
Sir, look, thank you for that voicemail. And I do understand where you're coming from. I'm in the same boat. It's getting harder and harder for me to figure out what these politicians are up to, who's paying for them, how close will they be to their campaign promises once they get in there? I'm having a harder time now than ever before trying to figure out what these people are up to. And you mentioned the lady that called, you said a few years ago, and said she didn't know who to vote for. She called the show back in, I think it was 2003, or it was during the Bush-Kerry. Yes, back all those years ago when Bush was running against John Kerry for president of the United States. And I like to play her every time there's a vote because this illustrates how some people think when they're going to vote. You know how you figure out who to vote for, but she has a different criteria.
And see, you know what? I don't know who to vote for. Between President Bush and President Kerry. You know why I don't know why?
Why?
Because both of their wives are so kind. And so therefore I'm in the delusion of who to vote for. Their wives are so kind. This is not about war. This is about love.
See, people don't think alike. They don't think the way you think. She's noticed the wives are kind. And then she said this.
That's why I didn't know who to vote for.
Yes.
Al Gore's birthday was my son's birthday, October 4th. And President Bush is my birthday, July 17th.
By the way, I looked those dates up. I don't think she had their birth dates correct. But maybe, look, if you're still stuck by tomorrow when it's time to vote, maybe you could look up the birth dates of the candidates and see if you share a birthday, or maybe maybe your kid shares a birthday with them or something like that. I guess it's better than eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Time saver traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design.com Traffic Center.
Watch for a crash with road blockage on West Michigan Avenue at Denver Avenue in Pensacola. Slow on the Cochrane Bridge west on Highway 90 from I-10 to 165. It's a 10-minute drive. On Highway 59 from I-10 to Gulf Shores, it's a 49-minute drive. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report is sponsored by The Rogue Recap with Linda McLaughlin.
Dangerous social media trends, media scandals, dumb TikTok boycotts, and more. Keep up with all the online stories mainstream media ignores.
YouTube viewers, if there is any. It's been a week since I've been on the social media. Let me look and see if I have any viewers for the Uncle Henry Show. Yes, a small number of people are there. KP of shirtbutter.com. And I would appreciate some, that would be your idea of fighting for their jobs physically. That would actually be, I don't know if we'll ever get to that point, but it would be a step in the right direction, I think, of moving back toward a real world, something real. Pat Nelly, hello to Pat Nelly. Richard Harvey. Bamba Big Man. Larry Morting. Norman Richardson. It's always wonderful to see Norman Richardson in the chat. Living the life out in West Mobile. Every time I try to look onto the internet and ask it a question like, where can I find good Chinese food? And I ask the internet that a lot. I do. I don't know what you're asking the internet, but I just want to know where the Chinese food is. And it always tells me I have to drive out to like Baker High School or something. Not actually, near there. So anyway, Norman, thank you. Congratulations for living out in West Mobile. 69-year-old Chris in West Loxley. Nelson, hello to you. Roll Tide to everyone that leans in that direction. I saw a video on the X app today of a crocodile attacking a small elephant and the elephant's mother coming up and smashing the crocodile. And the reason I saw that is because people were saying this is what Alabama always does to Florida or something like that. It was wonderful. It was nice to see people using the animal kingdom, a fight between elephants and crocodiles, and making it about football. I enjoyed that. That's a good use of the internet. John Daniel. Oh, John. Hey, JD, good to see you, and so sorry to hear about that. Prayers for anyone going through an outbreak of anything. Let's see, I'm going to go back on the radio here in about 1 minute. You know, by the way, one of my favorite memories of Florida Gator football, other than Tebow crying when Alabama beat him, was when was the Dubose years. Yeah. I know that's a weird thing, but enough time has passed that I can look back fondly on the Dubose victories over Steve Spurrier. That must have been horrible for Steve Spurrier to lose to Dubose twice in one season. Pat Nelly, I've heard terrible things. The restaurant you're suggesting I've read, the internet tells me no. The internet tells me no.
.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
Roll Tide. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
The Uncle Henry Show, moving forward. Moving forward in my own backwards way. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Telephone number is 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Hello, caller.
Hey, Uncle Henry, how you doing?
Snake Trapper, you are live on the radio. I'm doing fine. I hope all is well with the snake trapping family.
Uncle Henry, all is well, my brother. I'm actually just leaving the dentist office, Uncle Henry. I don't believe in ever missing a dentist appointment.
Yeah.
And when you get my age, you're losing your hair, you're losing your muscle, and you dang sure don't want to lose your teeth, man.
Amen.
I'd rather take a hot poker to the eyeball than to have to go to the dentist, Uncle Henry. But I always do it, brother. And also, what I called to tell you about, Uncle Henry, I would never tell anybody who to vote for, but I will definitely tell them who not to vote for, Uncle Henry. So if anybody's out there interested in who I wouldn't vote for or would recommend not to vote for, would be a dadgum Democrat, Uncle Henry. This is not your John F. Kennedy Democrat anymore. They have been hijacked by radical lefts, like that idiot running for the governor of California. Uncle Henry, she believes it's okay to give sex change operation to illegals and any kind of health care they needed. Uncle Henry, I've worked all my life and still working today because I have to have health care and provide for it, and going to have to work until I'm 65 years old. This country cannot afford to just dish out free health care to people that shouldn't even be here.
Well, you say that, and I'm with you on that, but it's also just the way the government has learned to spend money over the past 30 to 40 years is just mind-boggling. They act like it has no value, and because they act like it has no value, our money is getting less and less valuable. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Yes, if they would quit throwing our money away and to get all the fraud out, Uncle Henry, we could have free college tuition for all the students. It's just a waste in the throwing away our money. This could be utopia country. It was meant to be, but I'm telling you, man, these Democrats, they need to be punished for allowing their party to be hijacked. I mean, I knew a lot of Democrats when I was young, and are good people, and they're just just destroyed it the way things have gone today. But yet you got a lot of them out there that still pulls that ticket for the Democratic Party. I mean, if a person doesn't represent your values, then you should not vote for them. And the Democrat, man, I mean, they're lost, Uncle Henry. They are, and I hope they'll find Jesus.
Well, that is a wonderful sentiment, Snake Trapper, that you're urging people not to vote for them, but at the same time, you want to save them. You want to save these people.
Uncle Henry, Jesus Christ died to save everybody.
Yes.
And if his death on the cross saved one person, he would feel like it was worth it. So, man, I'm telling you, they definitely need saving over here. And also, too, man, I want people to be on the lookout. This is turtle nesting season, so don't be surprised if you see one crossing the highway. Just try to miss them.
All right. Well, Snake Trapper, thank you so much for your phone call today.
Yes, sir, Uncle Henry. You have a good day, my buddy.
There he goes, the Snake Trapper. Look, you can join. Look, there's a wonderful Facebook page called Snake Trapper. 2 words, Snake Trapper. You should go and join that group because there's wonderful Uncle Henry Show listeners. Every time I go to that page, there's listeners that I know that are posting snake videos and possum videos. And I know you're not tuned into this station to hear about snakes and possums. You want to hear about what's crazy stuff is happening in the world. But sometimes you might need a mental palate cleanser or some mental relief from the stress of seeing the country go down the toilet slowly, which is where many politicians seem to want to drag it perpetually. And when you need relief from that stress, you can go over to the Snake Trapper Facebook page and look at snakes shedding their skin and possums. I don't know what the possums are doing on there because I never click on those videos. But that's all on Facebook. Snake Trapper, 2 words. By the way, Snake Trapper, at the beginning of his phone call, making a valiant defense of going to the dentist. And we don't get a lot of pro-dentist calls on the show, but I do agree with the Snake Trapper on going to the dentist. I want to just tell you briefly about something I found really odd, and I don't know if this is happening in a widespread way in the dental industry. There are a lot of businesses out there in the last few years that get bought up by private equity groups and things like that, and they change their business model trying to make as much money as possible. And in the last year, months ago, I had a crown bust, and I needed to get it replaced, and there was a dentist just right near where I live. This dentist super close, so close. I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to go to the closest dentist and see what happens. I was feeling adventurous and toothless. So I decided, well, I'm just gonna go to a dentist that's right near the house and see what happens. And they did a fine job. They replaced the crown, and I thought, well, maybe I'll switch to this dentist because they're within walking distance. So I said, okay. I told him, I said, well, you know what? I'd like to make an appointment for a cleaning and start coming here. So let me make my first appointment for a cleaning. And they said, well, your first appointment, you can't get your teeth cleaned on your first appointment. I said, well, why not? I mean, every time I've ever gone to a dentist, that'd be the first thing. I said, no, your first visit we just take a look. We're just going to evaluate. You're going to look in there. Poke around in there, look in there. That's your first visit. Then it's the second visit you can get your teeth cleaned. And I said, okay, all right, well, I don't think I'm going to be going to this dentist. Obviously a complete, they wanted to create a new visit, a get acquainted visit, I guess, just to make more money. Just pay for the first visit where they look around in there. And then it's the second visit where they actually do something. I prefer the dentist that will clean the teeth on the first visit. I might look around. Maybe in Baldwin County there's a dentist that, one of those old-fashioned dentists that cuts hair and pulls teeth.
And we have congestion on Highway 98 from Daphne to I-10. It's an 8-minute drive. Watch for a crash involving a train. This is on Irvington Bayou Battery Highway between Half Mile Road and Government Boulevard. Also, crash in Pensacola, Michigan Avenue at Denver Avenue. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Baque.
This report.
Have you noticed the number of train accidents? We've had a few.
Right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
If you see traffic trouble, call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Several shootings under investigation in Mobile, Baldwin, and Escambia counties. Several people injured in a shooting on Quigley Avenue in the overnight hours. On Sunday, a woman seriously injured in a shooting on Bayshore Avenue. Police found the woman shot when they arrived. They say her injuries are serious but not life-threatening. Foley police responded to a shooting at Reserve Apartments on County Road 12. One person was killed. And in Escambia County, a bar dispute turned violent in Atmore. Happened at the tavern. A woman was shot. She's being treated at a local hospital. Funeral arranged.
A bar dispute.
And killed when his patrol vehicle left the road and hit a tree. Cause of the crash under investigation. In her email weekly newsletter from Mayor Carletta Davis, the Pritchard mayor says her administration's looking at the structural condition of Pritchard Stadium. I'm Angie Norvell.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm John Saucier. 2 teenage shooters opened fire at the Islamic Center of San Diego this afternoon. The city's police chief, Scott Wall, telling reporters 5 people are dead in total.
Our 2 suspects that are deceased. We have 3 victims at the Islamic Center. All 3 are adults.
The children at the Islamic Center school were evacuated. The FBI promising federal resources will be made available. President Trump posting on Truth Social, he'll be holding off on a planned military attack on Iran that was scheduled for tomorrow at the request of Gulf states. The president says serious negotiations are taking place. White House Principal Deputy Press Secretary Anna Kelly tells Fox that nothing has changed.
The president, as he said time and time again, is extremely serious. Iran, a country that for 47 years has chanted death to America, has threatened our troops overseas, can never possess a nuclear weapon.
America is listening to Fox News.
Police in San Diego say 2 suspects are dead, but all the kids are safe in an active shooting situation at an Islamic center there. SD Police Chief Scott Wall says 3 adult victims at the mosque are also dead and says the investigation into a motive is underway.
Obviously, these things don't typically just happen on a whim.
The 2 suspects, believed to be ages 17 and 19, appear to have died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. President Trump says a planned military attack against Iran has been put on hold for now. In a Truth Social post, he said the leaders of Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE told him serious negotiations are taking place. The conditions of the crew members on a pair of jets that crashed during an air show in Idaho have been updated. 1 crew member receiving non-life-threatening injuries, the other 3 unhurt, medically cleared. Video shows the 2 jets colliding at Mountain Home Air Force Base and 4 crew members ejecting. I'm Jim Root.
Paid for by McGinnis for Alabama, 203 Investment.
All right, going to be back on the radio in about 2 minutes. I have a caller waiting. I don't know if we'll make it, if the caller will continue to hang on. We'll find out. Or I will. Hello to Nutrition Guy 67. You know, wouldn't it be fun to have multiple nutrition guys in the chat? Nutrition guy 32, nutrition guy 67, nutrition guy 120. It'd be nice. Let's see. What can I tell you about while waiting to go? Going to be back on in 1 minute. And 60, I know you didn't ask, but 69-year-old Chris, I believe I will be live on video all week. I say I believe I will. You never know. I could have a good excuse later in the week. But I think I'll be on live every day.
Passed the toughest gang law in the country and made violent criminals serve longer.
All right. Campaign commercials. I don't think I've heard most of them on our radio station. I've gotten really good at not hearing campaign commercials.
5-3.
Uncle Henry Show. This is News Radio 710 WNTM. I'm also on FM radio Monday through Friday on 95 KSJ, playing today's hottest country. Tomorrow, right after 11 o'clock, tomorrow around 11:15, I'll have your chance to win tickets to Waterville, USA and Gulf Shores. Waterville, USA celebrating their 40th anniversary this year. 95 KSJ helping them celebrate with 40 days of Waterville giveaways, and we have another day of Waterville giveaways tomorrow on 95 KSJ. Telephone number here on the Uncle Henry Show is 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Hello, caller.
Hi.
Hey, you are live on the radio.
Hi, you were talking about dentists?
Yes, in the last segment of the show, I talked about the dental industry. Yes.
There's this interesting show on the Discovery Channel about a guy who's a dentist to the farm animals.
Dentist to the farm animals?
Yeah, he takes care of the teeth for the donkeys and the cows and the pigs and all the farm animals.
Well, I guess that would be an interesting show.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. And that made me feel good because I thought, well, if he can get some pigs and dental care, maybe he can take care of your mother.
Oh, you stop! You sick scumbag freak! How dare you compare my mother to barnyard animals? Is that where we are? In politics, the eve before a vote. The eve before a vote. And we've got people abusing this talk show. You know, this could have been a good call about the election. There could have been some type of upstanding citizen calling in to tell me who they wanted to vote for and why, or who we shouldn't vote for and why. But no, we had to have some kind of a sick, perverted freak, a low-esteem scumbag, call in and attack my mother, who's still alive. Still understands a lot about what's going on. She's aware. She's got some awareness. I've got a mental image of a man. The guy that called this show, my mental image of him is he's all alone, because you wouldn't be associated with a family with that type of mind. This is a loner that did this. He's alone. He's in a small apartment, Midtown Mobile, near Public Safety Memorial Park. Doesn't have any furniture, really, to speak of. It's kind of sad. I'm imagining this very sad existence. But he's got a smartphone. He's got some way of calling the show. Sitting there in his apartment all by himself. I don't know. He's going to pawn something later today so he can afford to buy his marijuana or whatever else he's on. There's a lot going on with that person. And I guess I should be praying for him instead of wanting to just slap him around. I guess I need to be praying for him. And I'll eventually do so. Right now, I've got another caller. 251-479-2723, the telephone number. Hello, caller.
Good evening.
Norman, thank the Lord I've got a real caller. Norman, you are live on the radio.
Hell, it's a shame and a disgrace. You know, I guess the kids are getting out of school, so it might be a kid prank calling you doing that garbage. You know, you don't typically see it till spring and summertime.
Well, that would be the kind of kid,
school, so that might...
Norman, that would be the kind of kid that we've got to worry about in modern society. That's the kind of kid that is going to get into going to be a juvenile delinquent and tear things up.
But all the kids are juvenile delinquent and tearing stuff up. They ain't had no raising, they ain't got no discipline. They
That's
don't
right.
care, and they don't respect anybody or anything.
That's right.
So that's just as Miss Lill used to say, our society is doomed.
Yes,
we are doomed. And the thing is, what I was calling about was your medical stuff earlier, your dentist thing. You know, and that's what it is. They do that. You have that one visit. They don't fix it then. They want to milk that insurance and milk everything and get all the co-pays and get every visit something they could take care of at one time. But no, we're just going to do this, and we'll come back, and even though we've done deadened up half your head, we're just going to wait and do the rest of it next week or the next time, and we'll schedule you in.
That's right.
That way they can get you for another co-pay and charge the insurance company again.
That's right.
You know, and what have you. And it's all the same with a dentist or foot doctor or you know, proctologist or eye doctor. They all going to do it because they want that co-pay. They want to get you in twice, and that's
right.
why they call it medical practicing. So they don't know. You go to school for all these years and learn all this anatomy and learn supposed to be learning how to help people, and all you do is write prescriptions and get a copay.
That's right.
You know, pay that copay.
That's right. And there's always there's always a test. There's when was the last time we checked for the L protein? And I don't know anything about the L protein. Well, let's just walk down the hallway. We're going to stick a needle in you, and the next thing you know, you're getting a bill for that.
You're exactly. Everything you do, they're going to bill you for. Well, I need to run this test.
That's right.
To run that. Well, it didn't have anything. It wasn't anything. And I mean, that's why they call it practicing, because they're not really doing medicine. They're just practicing. They're just throwing stuff at it and seeing what works.
And you see everybody in the office except the doctor. And when the doctor shows up, it's like having a conversation with somebody that's in their car, and you're in your car, and you're passing each other on the street. And you're having a conversation through the car windows, and then somebody comes up behind you and honks the horn, and the conversation has to end, and that's what it's like to talk to a doctor.
Well, you're right. And the thing is, you have an appointment. Say you got an appointment at 9 o'clock.
Right.
You get there, most people, people our age, we were raised to get to something early.
Right.
So you get there 10, 15 minutes
That's
early.
right.
And you've got to fill out the paperwork, and
That's
you sit
right.
there. But then you go in at the time of the appointment, and they got 12 other people scheduled at the same time for one doctor. And then you go in there, and the nurse or whoever going to ask you these questions and does all this stuff and writes all of it down. And then the dead-gum doctor comes in, read the notes, asks you the same dead-gum questions.
That's right.
I don't know. I don't get it. And it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. I don't see how we're getting doctors in anything now, because the education system's so bad. You got generation, and now this generation of kids, they don't even understand cursive. They
No.
can't write cursive handwriting.
No.
They print everything. It looks like dadgum third grader. It's it's a good thing we ain't long for this world.
Well, you know,
Me at our
they
age,
got to invent the robots to take care of these stupid people. These stupid people they're gonna need robots to take care of them because they're not gonna be able to take care of themselves.
You're right. They ain't got walking around since now, so I don't know. Anyhow, I hadn't called in a while, so I just wanted to check in and tell you, roll tide.
Roll tide, bro.
And good to hear you. And anyway, y'all have a good day, and with God bless America. Y'all pray, get out and vote, and God bless America.
God bless America. Norman, thank you. Thank you very much for your phone call. I really appreciate what Norman had to say. You know, I had a doctor's appointment a couple of years ago, and I got the appointment for 3:30 in the afternoon. And I thought, well, I'll be able to do the Uncle Henry show, no problem. Uncle Henry show starts at 5 p.m. Doctor's appointment is at 3:30. The doctor didn't see me until 5 o'clock. He told me that if you made an appointment for 3:30, it was by design that they would see me at 5 o'clock. It was all by design.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
And we have congestion on Highway 98 from Daphne to I-10. It's an 8-minute drive. Watch for a crash involving a train. This is on Irvington Bayou La Battery Highway between Half Mile Road and Government Boulevard. Also, crash in Pensacola, Michigan Avenue at Denver Avenue. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Bakke.
This report is sponsored.
I wonder, one of you mentioned the trains are now going faster. Do they have to go faster now to make room for Amtrak or something? So that everybody will have time to use the tracks? What's going on? I would want, the local TV stations seem to really do a lot of stories about death, unfortunately. I wonder why they haven't done in depth on all of the train collisions in the last year. Because there's been numerous. The Irvington area, especially hard hit. All right, let's see. Going to be back on the radio in about 3.5 minutes. What can I tell you about? I didn't look at the weird news for a week. Probably missed some good weird news out of China. All right, here we go. According to the New York Post, in April, Adam Sloat and his family were trapped beneath the rubble of their house in Oklahoma. A EF4 tornado went through and knocked their house down on top of the family. The rescuers came to find them, and the way they were found is they had 2 pet goats that led the rescuers to the exact location where the family was found. Pet goats. I wonder if there's more uses for goats that we hadn't thought of. I wonder if a goat could operate like a drive-through window or something. let's see. According to Fox News, there was a woman got a call at work one day finding out that her husband, who had died 37 years ago, actually didn't really die. He faked his own death. And investigators broke the news to her that after 37 years, guess what? We found him. He was living in rural Oklahoma. I wonder if she wanted to know. Oh, there are goats on Fox 10 right now. Something about people getting comfort from goats. I'm already smelling some type of media narrative being created about goats. The New York Post has a story about goats. I look up at Fox 10 and there's goats on there, people snuggling goats. Some type of goat narrative.
And lost a fortune on them. Alex Jones. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America.
Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. This is News Radio 710 WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. News headlines are coming up in 10 minutes. After the news headlines, more Uncle Henry Show. In fact, I'm going to talk to a guy that, this is just in time for Memorial Day. I'm going to talk to a guy that is interviewed over 100 World War II veterans, men over the age of 90. He's interviewed over 100 of them to publish an oral history from Marines that were in the Pacific Theater during World War II. So we're going to talk about that book about these World War II veterans telling their stories. That is coming up after the news break here on News Radio 710. Hello there, caller.
Uncle Henry, how are you?
John, I'm doing good. What is on your mind?
Oh, not too much. I got a little bit more homework to do, but I'm definitely voting for Tommy Tuberville and Barry Moore. A second thing is folks who are in District 1, 2, 6, or 7 need to realize that we have an additional primary election for the House seat because the lines are being redrawn. That's August 11th, so everyone will need to vote then. And the third thing is I today saw one of the most despicable political stunts I've ever seen in my life, that brainless AOC in Montgomery, Alabama, hide behind a bulletproof glass to, insinuate that the good people, the Republicans and the conservatives, are somehow going to do her harm. I just thought that was really despicable and an awful message to send with all the division within our country.
Yeah, and with all of that, the only message she's sending that to is probably other Democrats. Because I don't know how many Republicans like you are going to be watching her.
Well, I just saw on Fox News the 5 just showed a clip of it because they're protesting them in Montgomery over the district lines, the gerrymandering.
Yes.
But the Supreme Court was correct. The Democrats are the ones that were cheating and creating those districts for certain folks. But the Supreme Court just corrected it, and they don't like it. So they want to do things like that. I mean, it's just very dangerous doing things, especially with Trump, what they've done to him 3 times, and the crazy people shooting up children when they're praying at church.
Yeah.
It's just it's cowardly and just a very, very sneaky, snarly, just in poor taste, in my opinion.
Well, I'm with you. And you're right. I think the temperature keeps getting turned up in this country. And we can't act surprised when there is eventually more violence.
Well, I just wanted to say hi to you this afternoon, and those first 2 nuggets of information in that last little piece. I hope you have a good evening today, Uncle Henry.
All right. Well, thank you very much, John, and I appreciate you listening to the show and calling, even though the 5 has been on. Thank you very much. All right, let's see. I'm going to try and squeeze in. I've got a voicemail. I don't know if I can squeeze it all in, but I want to play it because this is about all the stuff you're getting in your mailbox.
Roll Tide, Uncle. Well, Uncle, Saturday I received about, I believe it was 6 ads for I call them vote for me ads. As you know, different politicians want you vote. Big old piece of cardboard paper like. And today, Monday, I only received 1.
Wow.
Hallelujah. I guess that means the election is near, huh?
Yes.
I know one thing, and I'm not going to mention any names, but I know who I ain't going to vote for. That's the one I got the most of them dead blame pick me ads. Not going to go there. Anyway, hope the weather's nice. Hope we have a real good turnout and whatnot.
Yeah.
Speaking of the weather, here at 12:13 p.m. on Monday afternoon, I have an update from the AccuWeather. It's entitled Exclusive AccuWeather Minutecast.
What?
No precipitation for at least 60 minutes. It's 85 degrees, real feel of 100. Real feel in the shade is 91. The heat index is 93. The wind is southeast at 4 miles per hour. The maximum wind gust at 12. Humidity 73%. Indoor humidity 73%. Extremely humid. Dew point 75 degrees. UV index 8.2, very high. Cloud cover 30%. Visibility 14 miles. Cloud ceiling 30,000 feet. Air quality 22, fair. The pressure is 30.08 inches and dropping. There you go, Uncle. There's the current weather update.
They measure everything now, don't they?
Fox on Tech. AI can now manage your checkbook if you're ready for that.
Facebook viewers, I'm turning the camera off, but there is more show coming up after the news break on the radio. Thank you for looking at the Uncle Henry Show. I will be back tomorrow with more of whatever this is. Have a pleasant evening and a pleasant tomorrow.
Identify changes in spending habits. The company says this brings specific protection and privacy to such conversations with the bot. It can also use the personal data to create dashboards to help a user track their money. ChatGPT